potential for investment, we have both the Amazon and Andes mountain chain lines, which are blessed with huge mineral reserves being extracted since the beginning of civilization about 8,000 years ago, when pre-Inca cultures developed advanced metallurgy techniques with gold, silver, copper, and other materials. From those times on, our region is still having vast resources and only the exploitation methods have changed. It is the industry pending task to grow in a responsible way with the environment and the communities, and of course without losing its focus of making profits. This target is possible within the region because the lack of infrastructure creates the demand needed for steel and metal products in general. Our steel utilization ratio is still quite low at 2.4% compared to other regions. From Brazil, as one of the BRIC countries, we expected that the World Cup and Olympic Games would leave a positive market effect, since famous architect Oscar Niemeyer surprised the world with his great Brazilia's urban designs. Constructors like Odebrecht, OAS, Camargo Correias, etc., developed a good reputation into building complex infrastructure and civil works. Reason why these companies won bids not only in Brazil but also in other countries. However, we cannot ignore the fact that only after Interpol investigations, huge corruption cases involving politicians and businessmen were discovered, and as a result, margins and profits in this type of projects are much lower. This affected all the supply chain and generated cash trouble. As to mining, there are in Brazil about 230 operations. 76 of them produced iron ore, and the country also has transforming facilities like 16 ferroalloy smelters and Hydro CBA as primary aluminum producers. Even after Alcan Alcoa closures, country remained at 10th place worldwide in aluminum production, with 800,000 tons per year average, and being 50% of this quantity processed via secondary recyclers to serve mainly the automotive industry. Finally, some challenges for steel producers in Latin America include analyzing the following topics. 1. Environmental investments for lesser carbon dioxide emissions and cleaner production, pipelines, gas recycling like Mexican prime metals quantum furnaces, or co-products using slag as landfill liners in tailing deposits to extend a mine's lifetime. 2. Decrease carbon coke, PCI consumption, etc., and even modify current installations. Say to convert whole European steel productions into hydrogen technology, it would cost almost $800 billion as per metal calculation for a gradual process until 2050. We wonder at what cost this can be feasible in Latin America. 3. To have more budget placed on research areas aimed to develop new products like alloyed steels. 4. Due to pandemic, China has accumulated an excess of 40 million tons per year of steel. This oversupply will be partially relocated in the region at very low or subsidized prices to the detriment of regional steel producers. It is worth considering some safeguard measures. For example, in Chile or Peru, there are free trade agreements with China, but in view of COVID situation, there are cases of specific products where smart taxing might be discussed to regulate market. 5. Possible shortage of raw materials such as scrap or others might happen due to the effect of stock accumulation. 6. As to technology and AI, the key is to adapt these benefits to the reality of each country and operation, with no resistance to change if it is really useful. COVID virus crisis has created, not mentioning the emergency of health and economic disaster itself, a global disappointment sentiment against our main health authorities, press, pharma, and the full system. This is a matter that has to be adequately read by decision makers, and in fact, it's been done so in our sector. Many steel producers and miners are taking crisis as an opportunity to approach and help people in remote areas where governments are not present. In general, our emerging countries are not prepared to cope with such crises, and lockdowns for sure worsen the situation, which is still not under control. Meanwhile, China already outperformed every country, and this year with more than 100,000 COVID victims in South America, near future is still unpredictable.